All right, so we have some information on Isao. We're going to cover that today. And again, he will be coming out this week. If you haven't already, take the opportunity to complete the events that are live in the game. But the good news is with Isao, there will be more events coming out as well as, I believe, Large Conquest, which he is, for the record, designed for. So we'll take a look at that. Also, there will be more events next week, so stay tuned and all that fun stuff. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you are excited or interested in Isao in any way. Also, one thing that was kind of interesting with this was like, this means that Hikari will absolutely come. She was always going to come, I'd say. If you don't know who that is, that's Kikuru's mom. She was always going to come. It's just now a matter of when. She's one of those characters that's vaulted. Like, when is she coming out? But there are more characters from the times past, I should say, that could come out as well, like these two. So anyway, or like him and her eventually. So anyway, hopefully you enjoy, and let's go ahead and take a look at this. Also, hopefully they give us the full details. For the record, last time they did this, the first time they did this, it was Ashuro a couple of weeks ago, and I was extremely underwhelmed by Ashuro. I was like, yeah, based on this, I think she's just a skip. And Ashuro is extremely good. It's not a surprise. I bet he'd be really good too, but we'll see. All right, so to start things off, the single target attack, normal attack, just deals blunt damage. Like that's another thing. They don't really show us the modifiers here. This is what I was saying. They're kind of just leaving stuff out to make it short and sweet. Combat skill is an AoE blunt attack. By the way, he's an attacker type. He's called Prime Fist. Hashtag Prime Fist in the comments. I want to see as many of those from everybody watching the video. Such a stupid name. Anyway, he's blunt, but not lightning. We've been hard coping for like a dual type because like obviously it's like right there. It's low hanging fruit, but they refuse to do it with all these numbers weapon 2 characters. So blunt damage AoE there. Ultimate blunt damage AoE. Before attacking, applies a blunt additional damage multiplier to this unit and deals blunt damage. So like, okay, like he's probably going to do pretty decent damage. But for the record, since he's a pure AoE, pretty much, even the follow-up is an AoE. So he's, okay, so you know what they did here? They took the blueprint from Rin and put it here because Rin's got 3 AoEs as well. In fact, that's what separates Rin from a character like Hoshina, the old 5-star one, where he's trying to do like an AoE thing. He's just kind of okay, but Rin does it on like the follow-up, the ultimate, he doesn't, and that's what makes her like so much better than him. They took the blueprint from her and applied it here. Now, you're just going to clear that faster. You know what this means? This means that they're probably going to have like a blunt requirement. Actually, these dudes are going to have blunt plates. That's what this means. Because then I was like, what even is the point of this? Because you have Rin to blow it up. That they're going to have blunt plates. So that basically means you're going to break the plates anyway. You're going to need him or his daughter, because she's all right. She's great at that. She's a blast attacker, so she can get the job done. And that's mostly it. They're the only AoE or adjacent hitting blast attack or blunt attackers in the game. That's actually kind of problematic. I will say that is problematic. It shifts Isao to being a character that's high priority pull, high priority build. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, the passive. Each time this unit attacks a kaiju, applies Valor to this unit. When Valor is at its max stacks, after activating the combat skill or ultimate, deals blunt additional damage to the target. Okay, consume all Valor and applies a crit rate buff to this character also. So he's also got that effect in there similar to Ashura where they're able to do out-of-turn damage. There's only a couple characters in the game that are doing that, but he's able to do it as well, it looks like. Unless that's something similar to like Reno, where they kind of have like extra damage additionally in there. Or maybe it's just a buff. I don't know, we'll see. But again, the follow-up also has that as well. I'll have to dissect this and read the bottoms. I'm just watching the video. I don't think that they actually showed. Wow, this broke midway through. It was done anyway. I don't think they actually showed the additional passives on Ashuro, and that's one thing I was like, wait, what? So they show the Ascensions, they show the additional passives. I don't care so much about Ascensions, but I'll take a look at it here. Before activating the ultimate, applies an attack increase, 40% for one turn. That is a fat attack increase. Jesus, that's a fat attack increase. Especially if you got like a Chester on the board. Oh my God. But he'll never, his modifiers are going to be low because he's an AoE character. And that damage is just going to be spread across the board. So he'll never hit the peak of like an actual DPS character. But for this content, they're not going to have that much HP. So he'll still blow up the wave, right? When Valor is at 3 or more stacks, this unit's damage dealt goes up by 20%. Each time this unit attacks a Kaiju this unit's ultimate gauge goes up. Ooh, that fourth dupe is insane. Hello? That fourth dupe is insane because he's an AoE character. That's an insane dupe. Blunt additional damage from passives will activate 2 times. Okay, that also seems pretty insane for the 6th dupe. Let's see the passives here. Does he have more ways of getting faster ults or whatever? After this unit's turn arrives, applies 1 stack of Valor. Okay. For each Kaiju on the field, damage dealt goes up. So a damage dealt buff. If Valor is at 3 or more stacks, he gets crit damage plus 24%. I believe there's 5 stacks to Valor. We'll go back and see. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick right now. There's a crit rate buff in there too. Crit damage, crit rate, damage applied, or damage dealt, I mean. So there's quite a few things in here. They're trying with him. It's just, again, he's not ever going to really be that big of a hitter. What event is this that they're taking on here, by the way? Like, this is just not, are you fucking kidding me? Stop. What the hell? Sorry. They're trying with him, though, but, like, what event even is this? Like, that's not, maybe it's the second phase? I don't know. They got him with Kikaru. Look at the plates on this. There is a blunt plate. Whatever this event is, I don't know what event that is specifically. They do have blunt plates. They got him with Kikaru. I mean, maybe it's the second wave. You know, the second stage or whatever for your team too. Which would make sense. But they have Sagan in there too. Jesus, they're overloaded with the blunt. They went full blunt. And then Ashura is just there. Anyway, so he's not doing great damage. I'm not worried about that so much. But let's see that. Look at that. Deals blunt damage equal to 135%. Okay, so they are showing the modifiers here. My bad. So the combat skill, 135%. I bet that's a relatively high bonus for an AoE attack. Each time this unit attacks a Kaiju, applies 1 stack of Valor up to a maximum of 5. Correct. We don't have the full descriptor for it though, right? When it's at max stacks after activating a combat or ultimate, deals blunt additional damage. Is that all that is? Let me see if I can... They're showing the stacks right there. He's now at 5, okay? Let me see what this looks like. So max Valor. There's a hit. I don't see any... He crit there. That's the only damage difference. Is there an extra hit in there somewhere? No, I don't see it. So it's probably one of those ones like Reno where it just kind of is in the back. You have to kind of watch for it. Or like Chester. But then he gets a crit bonus, 5.6% as well. Interesting. Max of 5 stacks. Wait, what? Does it not just give him the full bonus? That's weird. Or can Valor be consumed prior to 5? Like, I don't understand why it's 5%. Anyway, moving on. Before attacking... applies blunt additional damage plus 42% to this unit. Deals blunt damage equal to 183% to all Kaiju. So the modifiers are, again, probably relatively high. I have to go through and look at like Rin. But they're giving him other things like damage dealt, crit, all this stuff. But they, again, did the same thing there. So, I mean, I'd expect him to be better than her. But... I'm not sure, like, if you can't really not care about Large Conquest. We kind of have to play everything. But he seems pretty interesting. He seems interesting in terms of, like, that, but he's just a pure DPS. And so, I'm going to be honest with you. He'll be a nice blunt plate breaker. So, like, if you don't have Kikaru in standard content, If you don't have the numbers weapon 2 Kikuru, you can use him instead to accomplish the exact same goal. And it's not really a huge difference because the Kikuru doesn't do insane damage anyway. She does do the defense downs. She spams the ultimate, so she's better at it, I'd say. You can use him as a secondary option for those stages for where you struggle with a lot of blunt plates. Obviously, Narumi can be useful there too, but other things. That's something you can do. However, I'm gonna wait and see, but I'm pretty sure he's a character that we're not gonna use all too much outside of Large Conquest, just like Rin. And that's not necessarily problematic, I don't think, because the character is just good in a very specific mode. But it is problematic a little bit when it's like, okay, well, we now have blood plates, so you need to pull for this guy that you're not going to use in most content, right? So I'm curious about that. They have to make characters for that mode if that's what they planned to do. Like, Rin was 2 months ahead of time. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it ultimately looks like. But I've got to go. My throat hurts. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you all when Isao comes out as well. But I'll have more content in between now and then. Like my Max Isao gameplay video, it'll be coming out soon too.